And let me just tell you what would have happened if you would have hit someone. You would have left the scene, and then you would have been in the box, and you would have been before me crying, asking for tea and sympathy. You're on probation. You're not allowed to use marijuana. If you want to sit around, fry your brains or whatever, you can't do it while you're on probation. You're not doing what needs to be done. And since your family won't do it, I'm going to have to do it. You are not.
This overconfident teen walks into court like he's untouchable, laughing off a 100 miles per hour joyride. But once the judge digs into who really pays the bills, the attitude fades fast. Should he actually do time for this? Let's find out.
Calling 2024 CR 1497, State of Texas versus Gabriel Ichortea. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Brian Kimbrough.
And are you Mr. Ichortea?
Yes,
Mr. Ichortea, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of evading arrest, detention with a vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the plea bargaining agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, sir.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 180 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
No objection.
All right, state you may be excused. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would ask the court to follow the plea bargain. Mr. Ichortea has no criminal record. He's what, 20 years old, Your Honor. This was a big mistake. He understands that, and he'll do well on probation, I'm sure.
All right. So why are you going 100 miles per hour?
To be honest with you, Your Honor, that day I was going to school.
All right. So here's the thing, and your attorney will tell you this. When people start a sentence with, to be honest with you, usually what's coming after that is not honest. And then when people say, in all honesty, what's coming is not honesty. Whenever you hear people talking and they say, well, with all due respect, what's about to come is without respect. So you're speeding, going 100 miles per hour. Why?
I was going to school.
Yeah, but why are you going 100 miles per hour? Other people go to school. They're not going 100 miles per hour. I'm sorry, what?
I was running late, Your Honor.
So you're running late. And what school were you going to?
I was going to Pathways Home Education
And whose car were you in?
in my vehicle.
All right. Do you have insurance on that vehicle in your name?
Yes.
And were you paying for that vehicle and paying for the insurance?
Not the insurance, Your Honor.
Who was paying for the insurance?
Be my mother.
This is exactly what happens.
This is what happens when a kid grows up thinking rules don't apply to him. He's cocky, calm, and completely unfazed after admitting to driving 100 miles per hour like it's no big deal. But trust me, judges don't let that attitude slide.
And so how long were you in doing home education with Pathways?
About 3 months.
And where were you doing education before Pathways?
It was Stevens High School.
All right. So why were you at Pathways home as opposed to Stevens?
I had dropped out at Stevens High School during the pandemic because they weren't counting me present in my classes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go back to school. So we had found an educational program for students that wanted to work from home, or if they wanted to, could go to the school physically if they felt comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just running like that day. And I'm trying to go back to school now, really.
So have you graduated?
No.
So
when
how
I
do you-
went into jail, that kind of made everything fall apart.
And then I bet when you went to jail, that sort of woke you up too.
Yes, ma'am.
So how far did you go in school?
Before, about junior year.
So you're in your junior year, you're 20. School is different from when I went.
At that time,
It was rare that 18-year-olds were still in high school. They had already graduated. So I'm trying to figure out why
I got
at
held back in
20.
first grade.
I'm sorry?
I got held back in first grade,
Okay.
but I was 19 at the time, so I was still eligible for a high school diploma. So that's why I was going through that educational program to get my diploma.
All right. How long have you been out of custody?
State, I believe. To be honest with you, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
All right. Either you're just trying to put that behind you or it didn't make enough of an impact. So have you been out of custody for more than a month? More than 3 months? More than 6 months? All right. So you haven't been in school since you've been out of custody. So what have you been doing?
I've been working, been hopping job from job.
Working, doing what?
I was working industrial, and then for a little bit, I was also working as a cook.
All right. When you say working industrial, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I made automotive vehicles. I worked for Toyota for a little bit.
Okay. And why did you stop working at Toyota?
I stopped working at Toyota because I couldn't do the hours. It was 2 weeks on day, 2 weeks on night, and trying to transition through that was really hard for me.
So you quit. And when you quit working at Toyota, did you give them a 2 weeks notice?
Yes, I did.
All right. And when you quit, did you already have another job lined up?
I did. I was searching.
And is the reason why you didn't have another job lined up because you knew you could live with your mom?
Well, that, yes. And because I wanted to look for another opportunity somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. If you're living by yourself, or either if you're living and the household is dependent on your income, you can't just say, this job, I don't like their hours, so I'm going to quit. Here's my 2 week notice and I don't have anything fall back on. Because, for example, if your mother were to say, I don't like my job, if she's working, I don't know if she's retired or not, but if she's working, she can't say, I don't like my job, I don't have any other place to go, I'm just going to quit. And children, just so you know, your mom is quitting her employment, so you're all going to have to pick up the slack. You're an adult. And is your mom with you today?
She was this morning, but
All
she
right.
couldn't come.
So your mom was here with you this morning. Here's the thing. You can't you're an adult, even though technically you're 20, people still see you as young. 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, people still see them as young, but technically you're an adult. So you got to put away the childish things. You can't just quit a job and say, I'm going to find something else. And for you to be working at Toyota, I'm sure Toyota was paying you well, but you haven't even graduated high school and you got a good job. And it's Toyota. Maybe you don't like the hours. My mom, she used to work on rotating shifts, and you know what her shifts were? And I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it was 7 days straight. And she had to do rotating shifts. So she had a morning shift. You do that for 7 days. Then I think they give you like 3 days off. And then you have the middle shift, which is the 3 to 11 shift. You do that for 7 days. Then they give you 3 days off. Then you have the graveyard shifts. It was either 7 days each shift or 14 days each shift. And you know what? She didn't quit that job. You know why she didn't quit that job? Because people were dependent on her paycheck. Her children were dependent on her paycheck. So you need to stop and start growing up and stop thinking that you can just quit a job and a new job is just going to pop up. You understand? Don't quit a job or give them your notice until you know you have another job. And so you're a cook. I'm sure. Where are you a cook at?
I was a cook at it.
All right. So you were a cook. So where are you working now?
Currently.
See, you've quit 2 jobs already. And I'm sure Toyota had good benefits. And you know what? The other people who are working that rotating shift, you're behind now. And this is what I mean about your being behind. You're going to look up and you're going to be that person going from job to job. And then the people who were at Toyota with you, they're going to be ready for their retirement. And they're going to say, you know what? I already put in my 20 years. Whereas you may end right back up at Toyota and you'll only have a year in and you're looking at doing 19 more. Don't be a leaf blowing around in the wind. You understand? All right. Any children do you? Okay.
Trust me, if I did,
I didn't want to ask that question, but like, please. You got to work on yourself first before you do that. All right, so there's going to be a $1,500 fine. I'm going to probate that, not for you. I'm probating it for your mom because I know she would help you pay that. So we're going to probate that. I'm going to place you on 2 years deferred adjudication. You're going to get employment. You understand? And I'm going to require that you stick with that job. The only time you can leave the job you have, of course, if there's something dangerous happening, they're violating OSHA standards. The only time you'll be able to leave that job, if they're not violating OSHA standards, is if you already have another job. You understand? We're not going to do that anymore. So it's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Oh, and by the way, at Toyota, that shift you were working, I'm sure if you put enough time in, they probably would have given you a different shift. Those shifts are usually for people that they're trying to see if you're going to last. So if I were in your position and I haven't graduated from high school, Toyota seems like it's a good place to be in as far as benefits, 401k. I'm sure they'll do medical, dental, all of that. You understand? There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There'll be regular random UAs, defensive driving course, 180 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived if he completes his GED or if he graduates from school or if he enters and successfully completes a trade school. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? So we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're going 100 miles per hour, and guess what could have happened? 1, you're not a race car driver, right? You could have easily hit a child who was walking through the crosswalk because guess what? Children tend to be walking through crosswalks during school. Could have been somebody from high school. Could have been one of the little elementary school children who are just trying to make it to school, and you're speeding at 100 miles per hour. This is not Fast and the Furious. You understand? And you easily could have been killed. You could have wrapped your vehicle around a light pole or ran into the school. You understand? All right. And then if that would have happened, you know what? They would have been trying, if you would not have survived, they would have been trying to sue your mom. All right. Good luck to you. Have parties announced for the record.
Jason Garrett, State Yard. Jesse Sepulveda for Gabriel at Chartea.
And are you Gabriel H. Artea?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Gabriel Paul H. Artea who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 1497 for the offense of evading arrest or detention with a vehicle on June 17, 2024 for a period of 2 years? All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violated condition number 1 on or about the 13th day of February 2025, in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Gabriel Paul Echeverria
Close enough.
committed the offense of reckless driving and violation condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violations.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
The motion to adjudicate and continue the individual on his deferred and have it amended to include local ISF 2 and wait in jail for placement and monthly UA for 6 months and amend for IOP as recommended by the TAP. And the state will take into consideration clause number 2025 CC 002773, which is the reckless driving he just pled true to.
All right. Is that the agreement?
It is, Your
Are
Honor.
you asking the court to follow that agreement?
We are, Your Honor.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. How old are you?
21.
You're 21. You want to go to prison? Do you want to be over in the box with those gentlemen over there? Some people at the jail, people at the prison, they're charged with murder, right?
Yeah.
They're charged with sex offenses. They're charged with robberies. They've been to prison before. This is their third time or whatever. It appears to the court that maybe that's where you want to go because you're not doing what needs to be done. You're here on an evading arrest with a vehicle. You live with your parents. I can't even believe they're still allowing you to drive. You shouldn't even be driving because obviously you're not mature enough to drive. And this reckless driving, what was that about?
Just made a bad judgment.
No. I didn't ask you whether you made a bad judgment or not. We know you did. That's why you're here. What is it about? How were you driving recklessly? Were you going beyond the speed limit? Were you out here like I see these children do, shutting down in the street, doing, roundabouts? What were you doing?
I was going over the speed.
By how much?
I'm not too sure. It didn't say on the report.
You should know.
According to the report, Your Honor, I think he turned off his lights and he passed a few stop signs. But they said he was driving at a high rate of speed, but they didn't say exactly.
So let me
how
ask you
much.
this. Let's think about this logically. You're young. Sometimes young people don't think logically. You turn off your lights. I'm assuming then this was nighttime.
Was.
You turn off your light at nighttime and you're blowing through stop signs. What do you think the purpose of a stop sign is for?
To stop the vehicle.
But why? Why do we have stop signs? Why do we even have red lights?
In case of pedestrians coming through or cross traffic.
And why, when it's nighttime, why do you have to have your lights on?
So another vehicle or a person can see the vehicle.
So if you turn off your lights, what does that mean? Will people be able to see you? All right. And then somebody is walking past that stop sign because they don't see a vehicle. What's going to end up happening?
Collide with the person or vehicle.
And what's going to happen with that person?
They either die or get seriously
Yeah.
injured.
And let me just tell you what would have happened if you would have hit someone. You would have ended up hitting that person, and you know what you would have done? You would have left the scene. They would have ultimately found you, and then you would have been in the box, and you would have been before me crying, asking for tea and sympathy. So what I can tell you is this. The only reason why you're not going to prison right now is because your age, and I guess you're not thinking. So I'm going to try to help you think and make better decisions. So I'm going to deny the motion. I'm going to alter him in conditions. He will be taken into custody today. He's going to local ISF. And since your family won't do it, I'm going to have to do it. You are not allowed to drive. Wherever you need to go, either you're going to have to get an Uber, you're going to have to learn to do the VIA. You're not going to be driving for the rest of your probation. Don't come back to me saying I have to go to school in another county. You're going to have to figure it out. Do you understand? And I will take in consideration 2025 CC 002773, and we'll do a referral to felony drug court. And all of that is to take place in custody. And then you said intensive outpatient treatment?
Yes, sir. Oh, no, actually, inpatient.
Inpatient treatment. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, you're right. Yes, you got the other part.
All right,
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
that'll be inpatient treatment. And I know that you all didn't go on the section about using marijuana. It's illegal in Texas. You're on probation. You're not allowed to use marijuana. If you want to sit around, fry your brains or whatever, you can't do it while you're on probation. Do you understand? And we can go off the record. What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Join the military.
All right. Well, the military, they're not just accepting everybody. And counsel, once he completes all of this,
Yeah.
if he signs up for the military and I need to see it signed on the dotted line, I will let him go.
This one really got to me. A reckless teen blowing through stop signs like it's a game, and somehow walking away with a light sentence. Judge Boyd stayed composed, but was it too soft? Let me know what you think.